Welcome to the channel. Today, my brother's going to install a new battery in his 2022 Honda Goldwing. It's been giving him some issues here and there, so he decided to upgrade it with a little bit stronger cranking amps. But before we show you the video, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like. And hit that bell so you're notified of when new videos come out. Now let's get right on to the video.
I'm back over in my garage today. It's still a, very, very chilly March day. We were actually looking pretty decent. I was getting things ready for spring, and then here we are towards the end of March, and we're having snow and cold weather. But either way, I'm still going to be outside. I'm getting the bike prepared. I had a few mishaps with, I'll say mishaps, with the original battery and my 22 Goldwing. One day I stopped and at a gas station, I left the ignition on for a while. I was pumping gas, so it was only, maybe a minute or two, and the bike wouldn't start. And then there's been a couple times in the garage, if I left it off the tender, it just didn't want to start. So I don't know if the battery's just a little flaky or whatever. As long as I leave it on the charger, it seems to be okay, but I don't want to get stranded. So I'm going to go ahead and change the battery today. So I bought an Interstate battery, and because I can get them local here. They're really easy. They're actually a really good battery. I'm also going to attempt the slightly larger version, which is the HL. The battery itself is the same dimensions, same exact dimensions. The only real difference is terminal is a little bit longer, which should not be a problem on this side, but on this side you might have to bend out the cable on the bike, the metal part, to flatten it. We'll see that when it comes to time. The big difference is it's the HL, not the L. It's got quite a bit more cranking amps. These are 320, while most of the other ones are 250. Also, it's 20 AH instead of like 18 or 19. So it's hopefully it's a little bit better battery. It gives you a little more crank when it's cold and hopefully won't die. We'll see. But let me go ahead and show you, take out the battery and whatnot and work the things out. All right, so to get access to the battery, basically you just open up your side case here, and you pull out the side cover, and this will give you access to the battery. So let me go ahead and do that. Also on mine here, I have the battery tender is part of it. So once you get the cover removed, you can see here I have this is my line for my trickle charger. So I just had that over here for now, just so it's out of the way. The easiest thing to do in order to get the battery out, it's because it's going to be so tight, would be to take the passenger footrest cover off, which is, there's a bolt there, then there's two push pins, one right here, one right here, and then underneath right here, let's see, right there, there's a hex bolt. Take that off and this will come off, which will make things a lot easier. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so the bolt is a 10. There's a couple fuses right there. You could use a little needle nose and pop them out if you want, but they do move out of the way enough that you can just kind of get in there. The hex head underneath is actually a 3mm. And then the push pins, just use a little thing to pop them out. I'll show you when I got all that out. Okay, so now that I have that off, you can see that the battery is much easier to get to, and it'll be much easier to slide in and out of here. So what I recommend next is to always take off the ground first, okay? And then once you get the ground off, you could also get in here and take off the battery holder. There is a nut right in there to get the battery holder off if you want to do that first, but I have the ground over the top, so I have to take the ground off first, then this, and I'll show you when I have those removed. To pull this out, to pull out the battery one, it's also another, what is that? Another 10 millimeter bolt. But you undo it, and it slides to the left, and you're able to just drop it right out. Just be careful if you got wires up underneath there like I did. I have a ground wire that runs up underneath there. The last thing to do is the undo. I actually have from electrical connections. It makes it easier to jumpstart it. So I have to take this off. Take out the positive and then try to get the battery out. I'll show you when I'm working on that. Now that I have the positive undone, we're going to try to slide the battery out. All right. It is a very tight fit. Just to let you know. So it's best just to work it back and forth a little bit until you get it out. And I'll show you what it looks like with it out. All right, so I have the battery out. On the larger battery, what's going to be the problem is not the ground, or not the negative, but on the positive, you'll have to bend out the tip because it sits farther over. But that's about it. Let me go ahead and get the battery in, and I'll show you when I get the stuff back in there. So the new battery went in. It actually went in pretty easy. One thing I had to admit that I liked about the Interstate batteries better than the Asuna was the little screw-in part in here on both top and bottom. It's built in. There's still a bar in there, as you can see, but it doesn't move. So it's real easy to be able to get into that without, having to, to put the bolts back in. So I recommend putting on, obviously, the positive side first. Some people recommend that you have to take this out, but you really don't have to. The battery slides in as long as you slide this back in first, and then it just tips right in. It gives you plenty of room, right? You can see that. So, and basically then you just reverse everything, put everything back together. I'll show you when I get it back together. Once you have everything plugged back in, basically you just have to put on your one guard here to make all the wires out of the way, and then test the battery out afterwards. Let me go ahead and get it all back together. Well, and I have it all back together now. I guess the thing to do is start her up to see if she actually starts and recognizes the new battery. Things seem pretty good. And she started up just fine. All right, guys, that's the end of this one. If you have any questions, feel free to, leave them in the comments and I can try to answer them. Thank you.
All right, what do you think? Installing a new battery on the 2022 Honda Goldwing? He needed to. Needed some more cranking amps. We'll see how long this battery lasts. Leave a comment. What do you think? And if you haven't already, hit all those buttons. The subscribe, the like, the bell notification so you're aware of when new videos come out. And like always, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.